Jug, it's great to be back in the hot chair. We are talking Champions League, and from a neutral point of view, it's a great matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Inter Milan versus PSG in Bayern Munich in Mönchengladbach. What's your thoughts? Munich's a great city. Great city.
I think Bayern will be disappointed that they're not playing in their own stadium.
Of course they will be.
But overall, I think the narrative of this game is probably quality versus mentality. The quality of PSG, they've shown throughout the season. I know they had a rough
They were almost knocked out of the
in the group
Champions
stages,
League,
but
weren't they?
since the knockouts,
Yeah. Since my aunt had balls. Yeah.
they've really
Uncle Ruth, we
been-
call him now.
they've been probably now the favorites.
Well, you've got two contrasting teams as far as I'm concerned. It's what they would call old because Inter's the oldest team in the Champions League for sure, against a youthful brigade at PSG with Enrique bringing in a lot of youthful players, some quality players. There's no doubt about that. But how much does Inter's continuation in trying to win the league go to honing their skills? Because from what I can understand, they've had 119 changes, more than any team in the Serie A. They're an older bunch, but I mean they're just when you watch Barcelona, when I watch them play Barcelona, they look dead outdone at about 70 minutes in the second game. I thought, man, they're on the ropes.
Yeah.
How did they come back from that? I don't know. But I can't bet against a team like Inter that are 3.25 underdogs, and they have that experience. They play a 3-5-2, so the two midfields slot into the former 5-3-2. They attack well. They don't press. They soak up the pressure. And you've got PSG that not really a massive attacking team either, are they? They cross the ball well.
I think PSG in the knockouts have their fullbacks have been very important to getting a lot of space.
Yeah.
Then their midfielders held the ball really well. I mean, against Liverpool, against Arsenal, there were long periods in those matches where they could not get the ball off PSG. They would just get the ball, recycle, keep it moving, give it to their wingers, which are great one-on-one dribblers.
Yeah.
See if they can beat their opposition fullbacks. If it doesn't work, recycle, pass it to the other side, try again, keep going.
Yeah.
So they try and find gaps where they can, and if they don't, they just hold onto the ball, which Inter don't mind.
No,
Inter don't mind not having the ball.
Inter could soak up pressure all day long, as far as I'm concerned. They've got great midfielders. They've got great center backs. They've got a good team, and I just can't see a team with that age because it's now or never for them. But I mean, they've been known a bit as the cup champions. They've won 5 out of 7 cups. They've looked tremendous. The display against Barcelona was death-defying. Then you say, okay, my counter argument against that is, okay, Liverpool are the best team in Europe. I mean, I think they got about 27 million pounds for finishing first, and an extra 9 million for finishing first, and then 18 or 17, whatever the participation was, in playing in the Champions League. Guess what the prize money is on Saturday?
Maybe like 12 million or something?
25 million.
25 million, okay.
But you get 20 finishing second.
Okay.
So how much of that is a motivator? I don't think so.
No, I think it's purely just for...
Yeah.
No one actually... Let's be honest, for PSG, they don't care about money at all.
Yeah.
So it means nothing to them.
Yeah. Enrique versus Inzaghi?
I think Enrique has... If you'd said at the start of the season, losing Mbappe, no one would have expected PSG to be in the final and play the way they have been playing.
They play, but the thing is, they play in a... Let's be honest. The French league is a fucking joke.
No one. I was going to go into that, say that.
Can you name me
day,
5 teams in the French league? Okay, PSG league. You can.
Yeah.
Can you name me 10?
Okay, now we're pushing it.
Okay,
now
we're pushing the boundaries now. Can you name me 20 in the Premier League?
Yeah, I can name the 20 in the Premier League. Yeah.
All right. How long have they won the league?
So that Inter were fighting till the last day of the season. So last weekend, they lost on the final.
I said
final
PSG.
game.
When did PSG win the league?
And PSG, I think probably over a month ago. And even then, I think they've been roughly 15, 20 points clear constantly.
Yeah, they've
So
had
they've taken
they've
their
had a
foot off
good
the gas.
rotation. They're
Yeah.
healthy. They're all the things that you like a team to be. If Inter lose, it's they were 30. They were bound to lose. PSG win, youthful exuberance. To me, I like the 30-year-old experience.
I think that, Inter also in the Champions League final 2 years ago,
Beat
quite a
Man
lot
City.
of the few players.
Everybody was ready to hand the trophy to Man City, if I remember correctly.
No, and they actually were a couple chances going their way from beating Man City that season. But I think PSG, just like you said, this is their second final ever. The first time they lost to Bayern Munich. They play with a lot of energy. Even though they're a young team, they have a lot of composure and they play with maturity.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is just Inter seem to never give up, and I don't think PSG have really been tested the same way that Inter have been tested. I think Inter coming back against Barcelona or taking the lead against Barcelona, and like you said, with 20 minutes to go, looking like it's game over, still finding an opportunity, still finding a chance. I don't think PSG have really had to dig into that, get into that mindset, because against Liverpool, they dominated for most of both games. They won on penalties, but they were never really...
Who? No, they won 2-1 and...
Then they beat Aston Villa 5-4. And again, they were ahead for most of that,
Yeah.
Against Arsenal, they were ahead for their entire 2 legs. So they haven't really had to dig deep and fight back, which I think Inter have had to do. So
for sure. I mean, that game, the 2 games against Barcelona were incredible. Do you see many goals?
I don't really. I think that
Champions League final,
against Barcelona, I didn't expect there to be lots of goals, but for 7-6, that was crazy.
But how is it? Is it Yemen or Yamal? Who's the guy?
Lamine Yamal.
Yamal, wow, what a player he is! Eh?
He is.
He's
the fact that he's 17 is actually
scary.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Maybe Liverpool buy him.
I hope so.
Yeah. I bet you do. Look, it was disappointing that Liverpool, I think, went out in the second leg. Did they win in the first leg?
So, first leg they got absolutely annihilated by PSG, but then with their first shot on goal, 90th minute, they scored the winner.
Yeah.
The second leg, Liverpool played a bit better, but went 1-0 down, and then went to penalties, butchered the penalties.
Yeah.
But PSG were definitely deserved to go through. They probably should have beaten Liverpool by 2 or 3 goals across both.
Yeah, they dominated against the Liverpool side. That was scary. But when I look at their players, when I look at their midfield, they absorb the pressure so well. They concede goals. I certainly did against Barcelona. But they've only been behind.
It's Inter.
They've only been behind in the Champions League for 16 minutes.
Okay.
In the whole competition, only behind for 16 minutes. How is that?
That is really impressive, and that makes me think there won't be a lot of goals.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be a lot of goals either, because when you look at the last 4 Champions Leagues, it's 3-1 nils and a 2-0, I think. And I'd like there to be a lot of goals. As a neutral, you want goals to come, but to me, I just think you've got a 1-0 Inter Milan win written here in the skies.
Yeah.
Who are you picking?
I'm gonna go with PSG,
Yeah.
but I think I'd rather have Inter win, because I think that they have pedigree in the competition, and PSG winning is kind of like Man City winning. Doesn't really sit right with me.
Why doesn't it sit right with you with Man City winning? Come on, I mean, Man City, I get your point though. I mean, it's not a. Yeah.
It's kind of that their main goal has been to buy their way into winning the competition.
Yes.
So,
but look, the schedule certainly suits them. And if you look at their, let's look at the last results. Yeah. You'll laugh. Okay. It's look at this. 3-1 versus Reims. Me and 10 other people could beat fucking Reims. PSG versus Auxerre, 3-1. PSG versus Montpellier, 4-1. You know, lost to Strasbourg. That's a bit of a disappointment.
That's Chelsea. Chelsea owns Strasbourg.
Do they? Okay. So then you've got PSG versus Nice. They lost 3-1 there. But, I mean, what are they playing for anymore?
That's also Manchester United. Or Sir Jim owns Nice.
Okay. Well, look, I'm picking quality, experience, and a team that just plays beautiful football and knows how to fucking take up pressure. And I'm picking it a 1-0 win on Saturday. What's your result?
I'm going to go 1-0 PSG.
Yeah.
Purely just because I think that being well rested,
Yeah.
Enrique clearly changing the mentality of PSG from what we've seen in recent years.
Well, yeah, Mbappe. I mean, everything was about Mbappe, wasn't it?
Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, you know, they all had all the superstars, but now it's a bunch of young players that actually there's intensity to their game. You know, they work hard, they're tactically very disciplined. Compared to before, it was Mbappe do whatever you like, Neymar do whatever you like. So I think
they went for the tried and trusted, the brand names, the absolute superstars.
And it did not work. But I think this season, I would love Inter to win, but I think that PSG, just the way they've got into the final, the quality that they've played, the quality of football they've played.
Champions League, though, bud.
I'm saying like in the knockout stages. I know that the league phase didn't start out very well.
Yeah.
And I think they ended around 15th, 14th in the league phase.
But anytime you can get, I'm just doing my watch, sorry, man.
No, it's fine.
Anytime you can get the sort of money you're getting on Inter, 3.25 to win, you got to take it. You know, and if you want to go a little riskier, I think there's going to be under 3 goals, for sure. I don't know what that's paying, probably about 1.
Well, if I check it, sorry, just to check. Are we using Betway, eBet?
I used Betway.
Betway, okay. So it says. So over under, would that be like goals, right?
2.5, yeah.
So over 2.5 is 1.93.
Yeah, and so under is about 1.8.
1.85, yeah.
Okay, so I definitely have to take the under in that. But if there's lots of goals, I enjoy it as well. But yeah, it should be interesting.
I think it'll be a great game.
Yeah, I think. Where are you watching?
Not sure yet.
Where are we watching? Where are we watching, bud? Because Friday's a great sports day. You got the kickoff of the Stormers, and you get to bed, wake up, and then you got a couple of South African teams.
Well, the Bulls are playing at 1:30, I think.
Yeah. So it could be. I could get stuck in on Saturday. That's for sure. But I look forward to the weekend.
Yeah.
1-0 Inter. I'm picking. You're 1-0 PSG.
Yeah.
You fans know what to do. But yeah, that's where we're going. Thanks, people.
Cool. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Kev.